Welcome back everyone. In this video we're going to discuss human intervention in natural phenomena. The topic that we're going to cover here are what are natural resources and its uses, and how they're being misused and how can we conserve them. So without any further ado, let's get started. Natural resources can be broken into two words, natural and resources. So natural means anything that is provided by the nature, okay, which is natural, and resources means anything, substance or material that can be used for our benefit. So if you join the two words, natural resources means materials or substances occurring in nature which can be used for our benefit. Like for example, sunlight, forest, water, etc. To understand the uses of natural resources, let us look at some pictures. Okay, so this is a tree, a cut down tree to be more exact. Now, what are the uses of these trees? Now, these trees can be used as fossil fuels or can be used to make furnitures at home and so on. This picture is of a sunrise or a sunset. Okay, so basically we're trying to show the sun. Now, what are the uses of sun? The uses of sun can be in solar cooker for cooking food or in solar panel to generate electricity. These pictures are of wind turbines. These turbines are used to generate electricity. This picture is of a waterfall. Okay, now this waterfall can be used to generate electricity or it can be used to move ships. Now these waters, when they come to a low surface, they cause current. Okay, now these currents can be used to move ships or boats and so on. Let us learn about forest as a natural resource in depth. Okay, now we all know what are forest. It's a group of trees expanded over a large area. Okay, now what are the uses of forest? We know that forests provide habitat to large number of plants, animals, birds and insects. Now these forests, they consist of trees. Now we know that these trees, they take up the carbon dioxide and they give out oxygen. Now this oxygen is the oxygen that we breathe, because of which we're alive. So these trees, they release oxygen which is very much needed for our survival. They also absorb the carbon dioxide released by animals such as us, and they maintain a balance of these gases. We obtain useful products such as timber, gum, paper and medicines from the forest. The roots of these trees help to hold the soil in place, preventing soil erosion and landslide. So we know that in places where there are no trees, it's just a barren land, there are higher chances of soil erosion and landslides. But in the same area or the same land, if you grow some trees, then the roots of these trees, they hold up the soil and doesn't allow soil erosion and landslide. Dead plants and trees decomposes to form humus. This helps in maintaining soil fertility. The area covered by forest is slowly reducing. We know that Meghalaya was full of trees, but now since the trees are being cut down, the number of trees is continuously reducing. Now this phenomenon is known as deforestation. So what is deforestation? Deforestation refers to continual degradation of forests due to natural or human related causes. Okay, so human related causes as in cutting down of the trees for our benefit, and natural as in forest fire. Okay, now the main causes of deforestation are as follows. Commercial logging to provide wood for furniture, houses, building materials and other commercial products. If you look at around your house, you see that there are numerous things that are made up of wood. Okay, where do these woods come from? They come from forest. For this, the trees are being rapidly cut down. Rapid urbanization resulting in loss of forest to make way for towns and cities. The roads are being made, the houses are being made. Now these roads and houses, they're made on the land upon which previously there was forest. Okay, so these forests are being cut down to make roads for towns and cities. Destruction of forest for conservation to agricultural land. Now these forests are also being cut down so that that plot of land can be converted to agricultural land and we may grow few crops that are necessary. Overgrazing by cattle. That means cattle are freely left on the ground so that they can consume more than what is required. Sometimes the forests are cut down or removed from an area where you have some minerals of economic importance, okay, of great value. So here we find destruction of these forests for mining of this economically important minerals. Felling of forest for firewood and making paper. We know the causes of deforestation. Let us now discuss the adverse effect of deforestation on the environment, including us. The roots of these trees, they hold the soil together. So when the forests are cut, the soil will not have anything that holds them together. So slowly, the layer by layer, the soil will get removed. Now this is known as soil erosion. Now as the soil is eroded or is removed, the soil loses its fertility, leading to desertification, that is a barren land. We know that these forests, they are home to many living organisms. So if the forests are removed, then it will be like removing their houses. So this will lead to destruction of natural habitat of many plants, animals and birds. The roots of the tree absorb water. So during heavy rainfall, some of the water is absorbed by these roots of the tree. Now if the trees are removed, the water will smoothly flow over the land and will cause flood. We already know that these trees, they take up carbon dioxide and give out oxygen. So if the trees are removed, there will be no one to take up these carbon dioxide and give us oxygen in return. So this will result in an imbalance of carbon dioxide and oxygen in the atmosphere, and an increase in amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere will cause global warming. That is, the average temperature of the earth will increase, and we know what are the adverse side effects of global warming. Now plants also play a very major role in maintaining the moisture content of the atmosphere. These plants, they transpire, that is, they release a small amount of water in the atmosphere, which maintains the moisture content. Deforestation will therefore result in atmospheric dryness, hence leading to reduced rainfall. Before we discuss some measures to conserve forest, let us discuss a very interesting movement. Okay, the name of the movement was Chipko movement. Now as we know, Chipko is a Hindi word which means to embrace or to hug. Now this movement was launched in early 1970s. It aimed at preventing cutting of the trees. Here the villagers would just hug the trees, okay, hence the name Chipko, and prevent the contractors from cutting them. As they were hugging the trees, so contractors wouldn't dare cutting the trees. Now here a very important name comes up, that is Sundarlal Bahuguna. He was a Gandhian activist and a philosopher. He played a very important role in the success of this movement. He appealed to Mrs. Indira Gandhi, who was the Prime Minister back then, which resulted in a 15-year ban on felling of trees in the Himalayan forest. Here are some practices that could help in conserving our forest. First one, the obvious one is trees should be planted on a large scale on available land. Okay, now this planting down of trees in a large scale is called afforestation. Like deforestation means cutting down of trees, afforestation means to plant the trees. When this is done on deforested lands, it is called reforestation. So please understand the difference between deforestation, afforestation and reforestation. More forest reserves and botanical gardens should be established, because here deforestation is not allowed are allowed in a very controlled manner. We know papers are obtained from wood pulp, so recycling of this paper will also help conserve trees to some extent. Third one is to minimize overgrazing. Okay, the animals should not be left in the same patch of land for a very long period of time to prevent overgrazing. One of the most important thing that can be done is awareness programs. So awareness should be created among school children and various organizations to promote the need to use our forest resources judicially. This is it for this video. We'll be discussing more in the next video. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope to see you in my next video. Take care everyone.